I was in a position in my life where I was a projected first-round draft pick, had been playing football since I was 7 years old, and was watching film on the California Bears defensive backs coach, a guy by the name of Larry Slade. He came into the room and said, "Inky, I got some great news for you." I said, "The only thing you have to do is play football." He said, "The only thing you have to do is play football." I dropped a clicker. I ran out of the room. Game we're playing against Flying Corps becomes late, around 2 minutes left in the game, and any other person at any point watched a round of football, you know when you had 2 minutes left in the game is basically over, except if you're playing against Tom Brady or Peyton monitoring right. Thus the quarterback lets back, delivers the ball, fall down my sideline, a person gets it, I go to hit him. And when I hit him, maybe every breath in my body left, my body went totally left, moved forward, I forward to the ground. When I hit the ground I shut down. Never happened to me before. My eyes opened. My partners run more than 2 minutes to ink it up. We should shake, we should go, man. I said, "I can't." He got out. "Whatever do you mean you might? You at any point generally get up, we really want you." I said, "I know, man, yet I can't move." They expressed out loud, "Whatever do you mean you can't move?" I said, "There's a shot brought into the world from my neck to my toes. I can't feel anything." The shock at last left for state in my right arm close by, and the specialist emerged, and they put me on a spine board, and as they were wheeling me off the field, we get to the rescue vehicle, and my dad is remaining close to the emergency vehicle, and I'm the kind of individual, I accept what is happening, that we think I accept on the off chance that you train your humility to great in the circumstances that you could do without, that brings you distress, that presents to you a specific degree of resistance. I accept, assuming that you train your brain and see the positive qualities and it's not difficult to separate. Thus I tell my dad has a line on the spine board. I said, "Pops, I got him right," and he glanced back at me and said, "Definitely you laid a decent lick on him. However, I think you got the most terrible piece of this room." And they put me in the rescue vehicle. They said, "We will take you over to the emergency clinic, several tests, we'll bring you out, we'll let you know what's up." They take me, and they run the tests. They bring me back into the room, and while they bring me back into the room, my mom comes in, she kisses me, she petitions God for myself, and she says, "Child, you will be fine," and that she will leave the room. The specialist came in running from the contrary side. In any case, as he was shouting, and he was running, he was shouting, he was saying, "Folks, get in here, we must rush this youngster back to crisis medical procedure, he's going to pass on." I said, "Kick the bucket." Said, "My mother just said, all right, you expressed, bite the dust, there's in the middle between." He said, "No doubt, I would rather not tell you yet. You burst up subclavian supply route in your chest, you're draining inside, we got to rush you back, remove the principal vein from your left leg, plug it into your chest to save your life." And the following morning when I awakened, my viewpoint had totally transformed. I didn't ponder, assuming I planned to play Alabama the third Saturday in October. I didn't contemplate in the event that I planned to play Florida the following week, and miserable with the circumstance, there was a weighty degree of conviction joined to it, despite the fact that individuals were coming in to check and perceive how I was doing. I was contemplating my heritage, and I was contemplating my life in a question of such. When individuals talk about you one day was the main point they make about you, it's, man, that fellow was an astounding competitor. However, I contemplated my life and I said it, this is the main thing that individuals were discussing you football like was the main thing they say is, man, that person. I recollect that he was 165 pounds, he bench pressed 325 pounds. I recall when he ran a 4.38 in the 40-yard run. My life had something of substance and worth. Joined, I won't simply be this productive yet not successful individual. I did things right, yet I never made the best choice. Like, will my life have something of substance and worth that whenever individuals can see me and they can highlight me, it makes them need to increase the expectation in greatness and all that they do and all that they're associated with and all that they're essential for a world group. Simply say, man, this person was an extraordinary rider, was an extraordinary competitor. And when I escaped that clinic, I assumed I was driven. When I played in sports, I assumed I was devoted and committed. When I played sports, however, there's a statement that says wouldn't do. An individual beginning to truly live when an individual has confronted passing, and I interacted with death, yet I beat it and I vanquished it and I made do, and I felt as though someone pulled the shade extreme on my life and they said, now you see life, however, what it's truly worth. My point of view had completely changed. Applause, music, And I got help for my arm for 2 years 7 days in a row, and they will respect me. Various machines that were giving me an arm skateboard, they would give me various things that I could inhale them since they cut me multiple times down my past on thigh to cut me. I went to rehab for 2 years, and the doctors at the end of every visit I would step up and say, "Man, are you seeing anything? Can you give me anything? Are you seeing anything? Any nerves regenerating? Are you feeling anything? Can you tell me something?" And the only thing they were saying at the end of every visit was, "Come back tomorrow." For 2 years. One of my last visits, I got up off the table and said, "Man, are you seeing anything? Can you give me anything? Are you seeing anything? Are you feeling anything?" Can you tell when we encounter things like that, we have to step back and figure out how can I use it. A lot of times, naturally, people are selfish. What I mean by that is they approach situations and they say, what can I extract from this situation and how can it benefit me? However, the moment our individual shifts their perspective, shifts their mentality, and shifts their attitude for me, that is the moment an individual becomes literally dangerous. When an individual is attached to purpose and mission, it's not too many things that will stop that is great. A much needed refresher. Man, how might we be those individuals that carry on with existence with energy and empathy? How might we be those individuals when we ask individuals inquiries? We don't simply tune in with the purpose to answer, yet we really tune in with the aim to comprehend. How might we be those individuals that comprehend everyone that runs over our way? They run over our way for an explanation. Thus when we approach them, we tune in and we share a tad of affection, and we need to leave them a tad of somewhat unique each and every day. I awaken. The main thing I want is a much needed refresher. That is all there is to it. I needn't bother with a prize, I needn't bother with an item I don't require, and the main thing I want is breath in my body, and each and every day I will awaken and I will carry on with life for the right explanation, and I will carry on with life from the correct way. I will carry on with existence with energy, with adoration and sympathy. Since when I nearly lost my life, that shade went up and it caused me to acknowledge what life was truly about toward the day's end. I think we as a whole know it's not necessary to focus on anything shallow or materialistic. So as I leave you today, I need to suggest the conversation starter. For what reason do you truly do what you're doing? Where is it taking? Like, what's the GPS that is on the finish of our choices and our decisions? Like, where's our truly taking us on the grounds that by the day's end, throughout everyday life? Thus just two things that matter, and there's really no need to focus on the greatest vehicle. There's no need to focus on the greatest house. It's not necessary to focus on the financial balances. Just two things that matter. It's about who we become in life. It's about what we reward life. And let's get real here for a minute. Each and every day I'm honored to be over the ground. I will make the most of my time, and I will give something significant back to life. Kindly don't be individuals in this world that become a public achievement yet their private disappointments. That is my time. God favor you. Much obliged.